Hi, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 16th, 2023 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out more than you guys will ever know. If you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or an animal healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. And if you're having trouble booking, you can email me at daneharttarot@gmail.com. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below, as will my website. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see. That symbol was going really strong. It's a really good sign. Let's see what spirit wants us to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Five of Pentacles reverse. So there's something here that we don't want to be seeing. We don't want to be kind of connecting with. And yet our eyes are going to be opened up to it anyway. It's like we're pushing it away, but we can't push it away. So just be mindful about this. A we're also releasing negative energy around money, but that can lead us to kind of overcompensating for feeling like, oh, well, I couldn't, or I restricted myself at one time. And now it's kind of like binge eating, right? Now I'm just going to binge on spending or going after what I want. So just be really, really aware during this time of balance. That's going to be a really important thing. But you see here as she's covering her eyes, as a hound is chasing, I don't know if you can see that a hound is chasing a rabbit. She doesn't want to see what's going to happen, which is totally understandable. But there's something here where we're closing our eyes to it, and yet, gravity is going to take over. Our arms are going to fall from over our eyes, and we're going to see. And it's like, oh, oh, that's not what I wanted. So just be aware of that. And if you're born on the cusp with Aquarius, or you have Aquarius in your chart, be very aware of that energy too. You might want to check out that reading, because they also have the Five of Pentacles in the warning, in the be mindful of area. Now let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And here we have blissful, being filled with bliss. It's just going to be so important for us during this time. Happiness, joy, beauty, really moving forward in what we love, in what we want, filling ourselves with bliss, and letting that be our energy, our presence in this world. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. So we're crowned with the 10 of Swords. It's crowning this energy. We're coming out of a period, probably a 10-year period. It could be, 10 months, 10 days, but around the number 10, it could be from the time we were 10, because this is a general reading. I'll give you all the information. But this is a time period where we just felt like one more thing after, like one thing after another, after another, after another. No, it can be around 10 years, okay, or around that time of 10. the tarot is a little bit off when telling time, or is off when telling time at times. So just be aware of this. But here it's coming out of that period and it's rising. It's that resurrection. It's that, embodying of a passion and what we desire now. We then have the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, determination, focus. There's a lot of change around us as well. We're stepping into a leadership role. The Three of Wands reversed, certain doors are closing, or we're feeling like certain things is like, nope, not for me. Or there was this give and take, this push and pull, and that has come to an end. So just be aware of that. Justice is reversed. Some things aren't fair and some things are never going to be fair. And we're going to be coming to terms with that. But also, certain things right now, they're just out of balance. We need to look at bringing balance back in our lives. If that's our main focus of this time, that would be absolutely brilliant. And then the Magician, stepping into our magic, standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our magic, our power, our determination, our focus, our insight, claiming our gifts is going to be really powerful for us during this time. So let's talk about this time astrologically speaking. We have the new moon in Leo. Now this new moon is at 23 degrees of Leo. Both the sun and the moon are in Leo. We are very stubborn during this time, but we are also open to new beliefs. Leo brings confidence, creativity, vitality, a love of life, enthusiasm. It makes us natural leaders. It brings out our natural leadership qualities. It makes us the heroes of our own story, and it really wants us to shine. The new moon is also a time of darkness between lunar cycles. It's like when the eye is closing. It's kind of like going to sleep. This is also seen as the time when the moon is in the underworld. It's gone into the underworld to be reborn. And therefore, it is a time of death and rebirth. It is not a time of manifestation. Just isn't. But it is a time of self-realization. It's really looking at ourselves and saying, what do I want? What do I need? How do I move forward for me? Now, Venus is in the underworld at the exact same time. And so, Venus being conjunct the new moon and the sun, she's moving from being the evening star to the morning star. She's also changing her face in our celestial sky. So, there is also change here around love. There's a T square Pluto and the lunar nodes. So, this brings fear versus love energy forward. This brings victim versus creator forward. We have to choose the path that we are going to walk: fear versus love, victim versus creator. Black moon Lilith is at 24 degrees Leo. This is linked to the new moon, the symbol, and this is the symbol of wild, instinctive femininity. So we're going to be getting in touch with our feminine side, most definitely. The black moon Lilith and Venus conjunct the moon also bring this rebellious energy around love. And we can see that we're a little rebellious around how we're expressing our hearts, what we desire, what we want. Jupiter is trine Mercury. Okay, this brings big ideas and expanding of the mind. Uranus is squared the sun and the moon, making individuality, speaking the truth, being brave, and fully being ourselves just very important. Mars is conjunct Mercury. This is very good for the practical and can also really bring us on a health journey. So do be aware of that. Mars is opposing Neptune. Now, Mars is very goal oriented. So when it's opposing Neptune, the planet of dreams, the planet that rules us, this is where things get tricky. So when Mars opposing Neptune, our drive can lose our dreams. So our ego, what we're going after, what we want, we can almost be like, why? Is it fulfilling? Is it speaking to my heart? There's a sense of our drive, our determination, losing sight of our dreams. We need to connect the two again because we can feel lost. We can feel overwhelmed. Now, the sun and the moon and Venus are close to the royal star Regulus, which is at the heart of the Leo constellation. This urges us to come back to our hearts, come back to what we love. Venus, as she is rising as the morning star, is right above Hydra. Now, this serpent signifies the sacred feminine who is also coming out of her time in the underworld. Saturn is in the stars of Aquarius. We have that link with Aquarius because of the energy to be mindful of. So pay attention to this. This, with Aquarius bringing the healing waters to the earth. She's the water bearer. We have Saturn pouring forward the energy of life and wisdom, and Saturn reminding us that we are energetic beings. So be very aware of the music you listen to, be very aware that you're very sensitive to energy vibrations of people, listening to chanting, listening to singing bowl music, listening to, anything to do with vibrational energy is going to be so beneficial for you. Uranus and Jupiter are squaring the new moon and Venus, which are close to the head of Cetus the whale, reminding us of the wisdom of the deep waters, the sacred healing of the deep waters, and that deep waters run within us, the deep healing waters of the sacred feminine within us, within the womb, but also within our blood that flows like rivers through our veins. So I'm just going to take a sip of water. And let's move to the cards. Excuse me. So we have here the 10 of swords. We have in this time of the new moon, and this is from new moon to new moon. I mean, yes, we have the manifestation of the full moon coming in. We have a very powerful full moon on the 31st of August, an intensity, a power, and a passion moving us forward. With the 10 of swords, there is a rising from the ashes during this time. We're going to be looking at things, words that once wounded us, actions that once scarred us. We're going to be looking at things and being like, I'm not defined by that anymore. Like we're carrying around a lot of scars, but we're also carrying around a lot of knowledge, of wealth, of understanding of us. It doesn't mean we have to be thankful or grateful or say, oh, yay, this was so much fun. We can be angry at people. Actually, anger is a great propellant forward. But what we're going to see is that we're taking the swords out of our backs. And we have a fortune here. This is a fortune. Swords change lives, literally in positive ways and negative ways, right? But in the ancient world, if you were given a sword, your family, your status was elevated. Only nobility was allowed to wield a sword. That's why you see in uprisings of peasants, in medieval times, they have pitchforks, they have shovels. And I always thought, oh, that's what was at hand. No, it was punishable by death to own a sword. So they didn't. They were vastly, not prepared for any sort of rebellion, uprise, because their weaponry was so bad. So here, it's like you have the weapons of kings in you. Their wounds right now, they've been holding you back. They've they've bled poison into you. They've let poison come in, or they've severed your stride at times. It's like, yes, they have, but now it's time to stand up and to say, I see this. I know what I need to do. I see the power I need to have. And it moves us then to the King of Wands. It moves us to a transformation of passion and determination and focus and fire. Watch our tempers during this time. Fire sign energies always have that flash of temper to them. And we're in, a double Leo time. So just be aware of this for ourselves. And Leo is ruled by the wands. So we are going to see that this new moon, but also the sun in Leo is very much transforming us, very much opening the doors for us. We are also going to see that our passion is coming forward. We're looking at, what am I really passionate about? What do I like? How do I need to move forward for me? Kind of like, pieces on a chessboard. How do I need to move forward for me? What do I need to declare? What do I need to see? What do I want? How do I embrace what I love, what I desire within my life? Doors are closing. And that's going to be, well, it's a bummer, right? It's not what we want. It's not what we desire. We thought certain things were going to come to fruition that aren't. And it's going to wind up being a blessing in the long run. But right now, it's like, oh, that stinks. So just being aware of that is going to be also a very powerful thing, because somebody's going to think, oh, well, I got you, right? The store has closed. You're now more vulnerable, or you're disappointed. And I can play off that weakened energy vibration. Don't let them. Don't let them, because you're rising. You've already been through so much. You have dealt with so much. Keep your head held high. It might seem like, wow, how am I ever going to get to where I want to be? And know when one door closes, a window opens. There's going to be a new path that you're shown, that you're being told, hey, look at this. And it's like, oh, fine, I guess I'll try it. Or I guess I'll do this. Or I guess I'll go here. It's not from somebody else. It's not somebody else telling you this. It is your heart guiding you. It is your soul leading you. It is your angels talking to you. Listen, listen, listen. With justice reversed, we can be having a bit of a hard time with a Libra energy, but some things are out of balance here. So just know that if we are in a relationship with a Libra, some things are out of balance right now. When it comes to justice, some things aren't fair. We're going to look at things and we kind of want in that child energy that we all have, the story tales, the growing up on Disney energy that we have. We want things to be fair. We want things to work out. We want the happily ever after energy to come forward. And sometimes we have to let go of the fantasy and say, okay, I know everything doesn't work out the way that I want it to. I know that sometimes things in life just aren't fair. They're never going to be fair. We're never going to look at them and say, well, that was fair, or that was great, or I'm so happy that happened. But I'm not dragging it with me. It is a release of wanting justice. And it is a sense of, now I want justice for me. Now I have to be just and fair to me. And we can even find that some things still really aggravate us. We thought we had let it go, like totally zen about it. Yeah, it's great. And then we see a picture of somebody or somebody says something, and it's like that knife coming back into our backs. It's like, oh, I didn't let go of that. That still really wounds. That hurts. Okay, good to know. Because now there's a strength to us. There's a determination to us. There's a focus to us. And the magician, as we start this journey, right? The magician says, do you have all of your tools? Do you have everything that you need? It's kind of like Merlin in the Arthurian tales. I'm by your side. Do you have what you need? And it's standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our knowledge, claiming our prosperity, claiming our hearts, which is a hard thing to do, and claiming our passion and saying, yeah, I can do this. Making an oath to ourselves. Yes, I'm going to move forward. There will be days where we falter, where we fail, where we can be super harsh on ourselves. But I'm going, excuse me, I'm going to move forward in power, in passion, in determination, in focus, in insight for me. It brings us to our moon. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. So what's really funny is that when the extremes came out, I just saw this as passion, like personal passion, very linked with the sacral chakra. So these extremes are going to come forward. Passion is going to be a very important part of the expression of yourself during this time, and a connection with your sacral chakra, with your energy of personal life energy is going to be very important. Do not let temper, do not let things get like out of control. Don't let this energy get out of control. But this is a time to embrace the extremes of being, the extremes of living, and I just see this as passion come forward. And it says a new start is coming. It is. It is a new start. And there's almost like a fire burning bright until it's kind of like when you light a match, or you light a match and it bursts first. There's that burst that comes forward, and then it's going to calm down. So just be aware of that with this new moon. It brings a burst of energy, kind of like a solar flare. I don't know if there's solar flares right now, but if there are, you're greatly affected by them. But there's that burst of energy that comes forward. So just be aware of this during this time. It brings us then to a personal issue reaches resolution. This is reversed. It doesn't. Okay? It doesn't. But we're still seeing the beauty within our lives. A personal issue can still be a personal issue. We're moving forward in our passion and what we desire and really taking control of things. But we might not have during this time the resolution that we had wanted. But there's still beauty in our existence, beauty in ourselves. I know I always tell the story with this card because it makes me laugh. Like now I can see just instantaneously the face in this picture. But when I first started using these cards, I say we because me and spirit, right? But I only saw the lips. That was it. That's all I got. And I thought, oh, okay, that's really cool. Beautiful lips, right here. And then I saw the nose. And then one day I was like, oh my God, there's an eyebrow and an eye and the outline of a face. It slowly showed itself to me. And that's going to be the beauty that's a part of our lives. It's slowly showing itself to us. And when we see it, we'll never be able to unsee it. But now it's like, okay, it's slowly coming forward. I'm slowly getting it. Now, reverse is be bold and make the first move. This isn't a time for that. This is a time of self-realization, of turning inward, saying, what do I want? What do I need? How do I move forward for me? We're releasing a lot of fear that has kept us small. So with that release of fear, even though things aren't moving forward the way that we had initially wanted them to, with that release of fear, we start to see ourselves gaining momentum, going after what we desire. We start to see ourselves coming out of our shell, flying, not being held back. But this is a time also where that release of fear or that coming to the surface of everything that we've been afraid of, kind of like with the 10 of Swords, right? It brings a rebirth, but birth is painful. So that rebirth comes forward and it can be painful. It can be overwhelming. It can lead us to questioning. So just be aware of that. Hold your vision. Seriously, hold your vision. The hunger that we have for things, that sense of, I have to do this, I have to do that, we're calming it down. Okay, that hunger, that drive that had been ruling us before, that sense of like just blind obsession is moving away. Because when you're hungry, that's all you can think about is being hungry. Right? And so here, that hunger is satiated. So hold to your vision, even though you might feel like things are out of balance, and things are out of balance. There needs to be a centering around, how do I balance? How do I harmonize? How do I come into alignment with me? We need to hold to the vision of what we want. And our vision right now might be a question mark. It's like, I don't know what my vision is. So let our vision be, I need to see me. I need to go into the darkness that is the quiet of my energy, my soul, myself. I need to see me. Do you know how many people live their whole entire lives and never see themselves, never connect? So just be aware of this. Then we have here, I laugh because we have the new moon in Pisces, which is our energy coming forward during this new moon. It's reverse. It says meditate and contemplate. Meditate and contemplate. The one thing that we really don't want to do is to slow down, to meditate, to connect with ourselves, to contemplate what we desire. And yet that's what Spirit is telling us to do, as we stand before the altar of our existence and claim our power, because we're out of balance. And Spirit's like, we need to get back into balance. And this new moon, this time right now, it can be from new moon to new moon, right? But this time of the new moon, the time of the moon closing its eyes, that's how Spirit has been showing me this moon. It's like as like a slow, it's kind of like a dragon slowly falling asleep, right? And it's closing its eyes. And then as it awakens, it slowly opens its eye over the night sky. I'm just thinking, like, that's so beautiful. I've never seen the moon like that before. I love that. And so here, as it's awakening, we're going to see our energy moving. We're going to see ourselves finding our balance. But it's in the time when the moon is smallest. When the moon is smallest, that we're going to feel out of balance, out of harmony. We've been feeling it now as the moon has been closing its eye, right? Going into the underworld, going into the womb. We've been feeling that out of balance. And the thing is we will feel it again after like the burst of the bright light of the new moon. I mean, not the new moon, the full moon comes in on the 31st. Not only is it a full moon, it's a super moon, it's a blue moon. It's going to bring very powerful energy. But once we get over that burst, we'll be like, oh, okay, we'll be dragging again until we find that balance. And then the moon will sing like a gentle harmony to us. We're represented by the moon in the major arcana. We're meant to be in alignment with the moon. We're very sensitive to the moon. Let it be a harmony. Let it be a gentle kind of like lullaby in life. So just build that connection. Finding that balance is going to be so important. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Lord. This is Aries energy, but it's letting our tempers get the best of us. It's having people lord things over us. And it's a bit of bullying energy. I'm just seeing like just stubbornness, boldness, and bullying coming forward. So just be aware. We can absolutely, take this energy and have it become a part of us. But there's also a sense here of we don't like things lorded over us, and we're trying to rule our own kingdom, rule our own selves. Our subconscious spirit message here is created. No, not created. It's centered. I was like, I never read created before. It's centered. We need to be centered. And there's an act of creation around the centering. Now it's either embracing our artistic selves. We might be very creative individuals, and we need to start seeing ourselves as such. We've kind of like turned off that part of us or haven't been balanced within that energy. Excuse me. But there is a need for being centered. There's a need for being at harmony with us. Our subconscious tarot message is the Emperor. I love that the energy to be mindful of is the Emperor. Okay. It's that negative, bullying, angry, aggressive. It's kind of like being Nero, right? Being Nero, the emperor who was said to have played the fiddle as Rome burned. He didn't care about anybody else. He built this beautiful palace that went on forever. I don't believe it's even finished, right? That was his dream. He wanted to be an artist, a builder. He wanted to be an actor. He wanted to, have people worship him. He would make people listen to his terrible, terrible plays. Here, it's being an emperor and it's saying, okay, these are my responsibilities. These people, I need to give to them as much as they give, taxes to me. I need to give to them. It's being kind. It's being compassionate. It's leading with that paternal, fatherly energy of love, not ordering blind obedience because I said so. But it's that energy of you can feel that I love you. You know that I love you. I want the best for you. And it's that guidance forward. It's that energy here that spirit's like, embrace it. Embrace the sacred masculine within us. Embrace that sacred masculine father energy that comes forward. And for some of us, it can be very difficult, especially if we didn't have, good father figures in our lives. It's like, well, I don't want to be like that. Just like if we didn't have good mother figures in our lives, we don't want to embrace the feminine. So Spirit is saying here, see which energy you resonate with. Is it calling in the mother, the mother, the mother, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine that we feel at home with? Or do we feel a resistance to it when we call in the father, the father, the father, sacred masculine, sacred masculine, sacred masculine? Do we feel at home with it or do we feel resistance to it? And then go into why. The first surface reaction that we have, yes, but deeper. How has it affected our hearts? How has it affected the way the energy moves around us, the way our auras shine? How has it affected us? How are we letting it bleed into our everyday lives in ways that we are thankful for, but also in ways that we're not? That meditation would be very, very powerful. Our subconscious Luna message is the energy is gaining momentum, right? It is gaining momentum, but we are resistant to the pleasure. It's interesting because the extremes says lean into the pleasure, and we're like, no, not the pleasure energy. Like this has to be serious. This has to be, determined. It has to be just so, not with pleasure. And Spirit's like, yeah, with pleasure. Bring the pleasure forward. Let yourself embrace the pleasure of living, of our life energy, of our sensual energy, yes, but also the pleasure of living. Do you look at people just walking in the streets, just walking around? How many of them resonate pleasure, enjoyment, just in the simple act of living? Not many. And when you see people that do, you're kind of like, "Ooh, what's wrong with you?" Type of thing. That could be people's first answer. Not everything's happy all the time. Have you ever had somebody yell at you for being happy, for being joyous? It's like, what the heck is wrong with you? Embrace pleasure. Let yourself shine. All right. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed new moon. Bye.